You know that feeling? That sudden sense of safety, or maybe an unseen presence that just guides you away from danger? Well, today on The Explainer, we're going to dive right into the powerful idea behind that feeling, the guardian angel.
So here's what we've got lined up. We're going to start with the ancient origins of this whole unseen protector idea. Then we'll see how it was picked up by major faiths. After that, we'll jump into its pretty radical reinvention in the modern world. And finally, we'll ask the big question. Why does this idea still have such a hold on us today?
All right, so let's get right into it. What exactly are we talking about when we say guardian angel?
I mean, it's a feeling that cuts across pretty much every culture and every century, right? That sense that there's an unseen presence, a guiding hand, maybe a protector, just beyond what we can see. And this is definitely not some modern invention. It's this almost universal human intuition.
And that's where the whole concept of a guardian angel comes in. It basically gives a name and, well, a phase to that feeling. It puts a label on it, a specific type of spiritual being, a personal guardian, whose whole job is to guide and protect us.
And you know, this idea is way, way older than most people think. Seriously, its roots stretch all the way back to the dawn of civilization.
I mean, look at ancient Mesopotamia. You've got monuments showing these divine beings guarding palaces. Then you have Zoroastrianism, which is one of the world's oldest religions, and they believe each person has a guardian spirit called a Fravashi. And of course, in the Hebrew Bible, we see stories of angels saving Lot from danger and the archangel Raphael guiding Tobias on his journey. So it's clear, this idea of a personal divine protector, it's a common thread that's just woven throughout ancient history.
So the question is, how did this ancient concept get picked up and, well, adapted by some of the world's biggest religions? Let's take a look at how Judaism, Christianity, and Islam each handled it.
Now, what's really fascinating is how each of these faiths takes that core idea and puts its own unique spin on it. In Judaism, the idea is that your angel in heaven can see things you don't, and that's what causes that sudden feeling of awe or even terror. Christianity, on the other hand, makes it super personal. Every single soul gets a guardian from the moment they're born. And in Islam, you get two. They're called the Mu'aqibat, and they don't just protect you. They're also like celestial bookkeepers, writing down all your deeds.
Okay, so Christian theology, in particular, developed this really complex relationship with angels. It went way beyond just protection, linking them to creation, gender, and even authority during worship.
So, take the work of scholar Janelle Peters, for example. She looks at the writings of the Apostle Paul and argues that when he talked about women veiling in the early church, well, it wasn't just about social customs, not at all. He was actually making a deep theological point, and believe it or not, it had everything to do with angels.
So, here's the key takeaway. Paul connects the practice of veiling all the way back to the creation story in Genesis. And he says it should be done because of the angels. See, he saw angels as the original witnesses to creation and believed they were still watching during worship. So the bottom line for him was that the veil wasn't about submission. It was a symbol, a sign that acknowledged the divine order and the interdependent partnership between men and women, all happening under the watchful eyes of these celestial beings.
And this really illustrates a much bigger question that runs through religious history. It's not just about who guards us, but who guards the gateway to God, right? Is it a specific apostle? Is it a whole class of saints? Or is the connection more personal? And it's this exact question, this debate over personal access to the divine, that would eventually push the whole idea of the guardian angel right outside the church walls.
Okay, so as we move out of antiquity and closer to the modern era, the whole concept of the guardian angel takes another really fascinating turn. It finds a new life, but this time it's outside the walls of mainstream religion. It's entering the world of magic and esotericism.
This whole transformation really kicks off in the Renaissance with these magical texts, grimoires, that lay out rituals for contacting one's holy guardian angel. Then you fast forward to the 16th century and you've got the famous occultist John Dee documenting his own supposed conversations with angels. And then by the time we hit the 20th century, the, let's say, controversial figure Aleister Crowley makes contact with this angel the absolute central goal of his entire spiritual system, which he called thelema. But here's the thing, this was a very different kind of angel.
Yeah, this was not the winged protector you read about in the Bible. For Crowley and other modern magicians, the holy guardian angel isn't some external being watching over you. No, it's a symbol of your own higher self, your truest, most divine nature. And this shift really mirrors a bigger change happening in Western thought, a move away from collective faith and toward individual self-realization. The goal wasn't just safety anymore, it was about discovering your ultimate purpose, what they called your true will.
So, after this incredible journey, right, all the way from ancient Mesopotamia through all these different faiths and into modern magic, why? Why does this idea of a personal, benevolent spiritual guide remain so powerful?
Well, I think the answer really lies in its incredible adaptability. I mean, think about it. Whether it was a winged warrior for an ancient king, a divine guide in a sacred text, or the inner voice of a modern mystic, the guardian angel has constantly changed its form to meet our timeless human need for protection and for purpose in what can feel like a really chaotic world.
And even today, this idea provides just an immense amount of comfort. Back in 2014, Pope Francis reminded his followers of this constant, supportive companion. And he was echoing a sentiment that gives solace to millions of people, whether they're religious or just spiritual. It's all about that profound hope, the hope that we're not just adrift in the universe all by ourselves.
And that really brings us to our final thought. In our modern world of science and technology, of algorithms and atoms, what deep human need does the guardian angel continue to fulfill? Maybe it speaks to our deepest hope, that in the end, we are not just a cosmic accident, but a soul that is worthy of a heavenly guard.